Let's get headlines here for the 3 o'clock hour with Alejandro Solana.
They're driven by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford, we know trucks. The Miami Dolphins, they continue to make moves. They have solidified their backfield. We know about Raheem Mostert earlier today. Jeff Wilson also returning to the Miami Dolphins, 2 years, max value of $8.2 million.
I think that's awesome. Jeff Wilson was great.
Dale.
God bless.
Dale.
Thank you, Jimmy. 305 alarm, sponsored by Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
We were talking to OJ McDuffie about this, the running back position, and he said there's no banger. They all built the same. Myles Gaskin, Savon Ahmed, Mostert, they're all built the same. Jeff Wilson's the bigger guy. I should have brought it up with him. He's the guy. He came in balling, and then he started tampering off, getting less carries. But if they can get him through camp and really see what he does, hopefully that can be our bigger, short yardage back.
Yeah, I think, and obviously you're seeing it by them re-signing him, but I think that Mike McDaniel was super happy with Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson. Everything goes under the assumption that everyone's going to be healthy. They're thrilled with Tua, but it's got to be under the assumption that they're healthy. They love Mostert, but it's under the assumption that he's going to remain healthy. Teron Armstead, it's great having him on the offensive line. If he's healthy, this is all going to come down to, are these guys able to stay healthy?
Yes. And one thing I didn't get to, we're going to break. When you talk about Chris Grier's misses, Austin Jackson and Noah Igbenogany pop up. Those were two big misses.
Big misses.
After he saw those were misses, he went out and got Teron Armstead and Jalen Ramsey. If you make a mistake, recognize that mistake and address it. After Austin, we figured out Austin wasn't going to be a left tackle. They went out and started finding left tackles.
100% with you. I find it so odd. I was talking yesterday about how on Twitter I'd put out that Grier father picture where Chris Grier's dressed as a godfather, and all these people are like, he's got to address everything in free agency because he misses in the draft. And it's like, well, so what? I know plenty of GMs or coaches get married to a guy that they've drafted and they refuse to see anything. Now, Noah Igbenogany's been on the roster for a while, so but he has gone out and addressed it. So if you miss during the draft, and every coach and GM misses in the draft, Bill Belichick is a genius. Go look at what he's done in the draft recently. Okay?
Nothing.
Everyone misses in the draft. The question is, can you recover from misses? Can you hit enough? Javon Holland, can you hit enough? Tua, and can you mitigate the misses with acquisitions through free agency and trades?
Yeah.
I think Chris Grier's done a fantastic job doing that.
Why don't we talk about, you brought up two of them, Javon Holland, Brandon Jones. Why don't we talk about the Jalen Phillips,
Jalen Waddle.
All those guys. They got Christian Wilkins, all those guys. Look at our good players as well that they drafted and that they've developed. Go look at Kansas City, Cincinnati, Buffalo, or Eagles. Look at the playoff teams from last year and tell me that everybody that's on their team contributing was drafted by that team. And I'll tell you, you are lying because that's impossible.
Even the pickups out of the draft, like Zach Sealer, who I think was at Baltimore. I don't remember what team it was that he left, and the Dolphins pick him up. He was a huge part of that front line last year. Kader Kohu, undrafted, certainly exceeded expectations this year. My only thing, guys, is let's not forget, you have 3 first-round picks. You miss on 2 out of those 3, and the player taken behind Tua ultimately has had a better career thus far. I understand the frustration with Chris Grier from that aspect, but I am with you. He's been able to make up for it. Dolphins also agreed to a 2-year deal with David Long, and they've agreed to bring back Duke Riley.
All right.
This Josh Appel might have convinced me something about this David Long, but we'll see.
He spoke glowingly of him, man.
What?
Darren Waller got traded. Did you see that?
Yeah, 3rd-round pick for tight end Darren Waller.
Goes to the Giants?
Yeah.
The Raiders aren't trying anymore. I'm sorry to.
Did you see what Josh Jacobs tweeted out?
What'd he do?
This bleeps sad.
Yeah, they're giving up.
Isn't that one of Jimmy Garoppolo just went?
Mm-hmm. You have one of the best the core, Renfro, Devontae Adams, and Darren Waller, and you can't get on the board some games? Come on, man. They gave up. Josh McDaniels does not know what the hell he's doing.
If Josh Jacobs is upset, perhaps a little Noah Igbenogany for Josh Jacobs, we make everything right.
The Raiders might take that deal. Darren Waller's a third rounder.
Taylor Heineke and the Falcons agreed to a 2-year, $20 million deal earlier today as well.
All right.
Bunch of teams not trying. We have a Ritter. Let's get a Heineke behind him. We're set to go.